Hello and welcome to another episode of Live Koba. We are here in Tsubame City, and Live Koba is a series where locals show you around the best and most interesting places in Tsubame-Sanjo. For any of you who aren't familiar with Tsubame-Sanjo, it's a manufacturing region in central Niigata Prefecture, and today we have a very special visit. I was honored to be able to have this opportunity to bring this to you guys. We are live from my workplace, a workshop called Gyokusendo. Now, looking at the facade of the building, you probably, if you were just casually strolling by, you probably wouldn't know that this was a copper workshop. But in fact, behind these walls is a company that is over 200 years old and has been making hand-hammered copperware for over 7 generations. So with that in mind, I, as your guide, my name is Matthew. I'm very, very thrilled to have this opportunity to show you guys around. So without any further ado, let's take a look inside. Oh, cherry blossoms are out. Gorgeous. And Niigata is quite well known for its rain and cloudy weather, but today is not like that at all. Oh, here we go. This is the nameplate of the current head, the 7th head of Gyokusendo, Mr. Tamagawa Motoyuki, and his family. They still live in this building. いらっしゃいませ。こんにちは。So as we head in, the first thing you notice is the history of the building. It's a very traditional building. It's also a tangible cultural property in Niigata Prefecture. To your left here is the gallery and showroom, which we will return to at the end of the tour. But before that, I really want to show you guys the workshop. And it's just at the end of the hall here. Be sure to watch your step. There's some bumps, and as well, any of you tall folks, make sure you duck, as there's some low ceilings too. Oh, can you hear the hammers? So welcome once again to Gyokusendo. This is the main workshop area. In this particular room is where we do all of the shaping, texturing, and the hammering that requires to make our pieces. We specialize in coffeeware, teaware, as well as sakeware. Anything that goes on your table, we might be making it. But yeah, this is the kind of the main workshop area, main workshop space. And you can really see and really feel the history of the building. Actually, when it was first constructed, the electrical infrastructure was still being laid in this part of town. And so you can actually see, if you look around, there are these really large windows on each side of the room, and that was to help get as much natural light in as possible. Of course, now we have the benefit of electrical lighting, but that wasn't the case when it was first built. Another kind of interesting bit that isn't often pointed out here, if you look down here at the wall, you can see some writing there. I'm not sure if you can see it very well, but this was obviously written by an artisan who worked in this space. And if you look really closely here, it says pumpkin design. And this says 1.8 liters. I think this is the volume of the vessel. And then you've got some of the measurements. And interesting, I might have a hint for you about what this actually is. We believe this is the measurements that you would use to create a kettle in a pumpkin shape. So I'll let your imaginations run wild there, and I might be able to show you something cool later when we get to the showroom. So right now we have about a dozen or more artisans working with us, and you can see quite a lot of them hammering around the room right now. You know, way back in the day, our artisans would have come in very young. They would work for maybe 5 or 6 years, and then they would be expected to move on to create their own workshop and to start their own business. Now, of course, times have definitely changed, I would say. The majority of our artisans actually graduate from university or college, specializing in art or design or traditional craft. Some of them go on to start their own workshop or their own practice, but a lot of them also tend to stay on and learn with the other veterans and really cultivate their craft here. I want to be careful and not disrupt them too much, but I wonder if we can go and see some of the work up close. Why don't you follow me? Hi, Yudi. Hey. Hey, how are you? Good. What are you making here? Can you tell them?
Flower ball.
Flower ball. Right. That's a really neat design. What part of the process are you doing? 今の工程はどんな工程ですか？
今、大槌目っていうメインの模様を入れてる段階です。
So right now she says she's working on the large hammer marks. You can see there are many smaller hammer marks on certain surfaces, but you also have these very large hammer marks accenting the very top of this piece. She mentioned as well it was a flower ball. This is a small kind of little round vase that you can put flowers or plants in. Thank you very much. What part of this process, if you don't mind me asking, what part of the process is the most challenging for you? どのような、どの工程というか、これを作ることにおける、難しい点というか、自分が努力しているところって何かあります？
そうですね。この道具がすごく丸くて、物もとても丸いので、このピンポイントでしか当たらないのがすごく難しくて、これをきれいに動かしてこの大きい大槌目作るのがすごく大変です。
So she said that the way that she places the piece on this instrument, the anvil stake. Both surfaces are round, so getting just the right angle to create just the right balance and the look of the hammer mark is very difficult for her. Just by way of introduction, the anvil stake that she's using here is just one of, say, 200 or so of these anvil stakes that we use to shape and to texture our copperware. And all of the basic patterns and all of the things that we do really require these anvil stakes. They're a really important part of our creation process. Yuri, can you show us a little bit about how you might? Can you continue your work a little bit? Yeah. ぜひ見せてください。
はい。
That's really cool. You can see that the place that she's hammering is almost, it's like it's getting shiny. Hey. It's starting to get this kind of reflective quality to it as well. That was really cool. That's really cool. Yeah. One thing to note here as well is that as she's hammering, what she's doing is she's slowly stretching and sort of flattening and stretching the copper out. And when she does this, the copper on the outside of the hammer mark actually starts to raise, and this is going to define that hammer mark later when it's colored. So depending on how it's hammered, the extent to which those hammer marks show up in the final product is very, very different. I wonder, this particular piece, you're I guess in charge of making these. How many are you making? About 10? 10個ぐらい?
15.
15. Just 15. Wow. And do you have any, I guess, I don't know, what do you feel? Is this fun? Is this a fun a piece to make? Do you have any kind of, I guess, feelings toward this particular product? 何かこの商品に対してこう思いっていうか何かありますか？
この商品が実際に私がこの会社に入るきっかけになったような商品で、
Really? So she says this the flower ball, the piece itself is the reason why she joined Gyokusendo. Definitely tell us more. Why is that?
東京のお店で実演をやっていまして、このフラワーボールの実演をやってて、そのもともとこの会社気になってたんですけど、実演を実際に見に行って、でそこで初めてこの商品を見て、ただ古いものばかり作ってるわけじゃなくって、女性の職人っていうのも珍しかったんですけど、その新しいものもどんどん作っていってる会社なんだなと思って興味を持ちました。
Well, that's really neat. So you knew. So she says that she went to our shop in Tokyo, and she saw a female artisan doing the she was making it. She was kind of making it on site for any passers-by. And so you were a customer, I guess. You were a visitor to the shop, and you went to see this demonstration, and you realized that not only were there female artisans working at Gyokusendo, but that they were making really kind of modern, new Copperware, right?
そうね。ちなみにその時実演をしていた先輩が私の今隣にいらっしゃって実際にそのきっかけを作ってくれた方にこの商品を教えてもらってるのもすごく今幸運だなと思いますね。
Oh, that's so neat. So, in fact, the person doing the demonstration and who was showing her how to make the flower ball when she visited is the same person now that she sits beside and is creating or is getting or is teaching her how to make the flower ball now. That's so cool. It's like your imagination or your wish kind of came true in a sense, I suppose.
そんなそんなところですかね。私のこのフラワーボールの思い出っていうかなんでそれをきっかけになった商品を今実際に作ってでそれをまた違う人に教えてもらってつなげていけたらなとは思います。
Yeah, so she says that she really hopes that, just in the way that she's inherited the ability to make this piece, she hopes that she can pass that knowledge on to the next person and hopefully inspire them in the same way that she was inspired. For example, if I was to choose one of your flower balls and take it home, would you have any wish or desire for me as someone who uses it? 何かその使い手に対して何か願い事というかそういうのはありますか？
そうですね。このフラワーボールのどの商品もそうなんですけど、こうやって刻印がここに会社のロゴマークと刻印が入ってるので、その作った人がどういう人なのかみたいなのを想像してもらいながらこうそれだけでも思い入れのある買った時にその愛着が湧くと思うので大事に使っていただけたら嬉しいなと思います。
Yeah, so she just showed you here that each and every one of our pieces that we're making has this insignia, I suppose, or stamp you can say, and it has the artisan that hammered the piece. It has their name on it. So this is actually her kanji here. Yuri is written as Aru, right? And that's the first character of her name. If you can remember that, and you can find one of her pieces. Okay? She says that because each and every piece has this mark on them, it means that when you take it home, well, hopefully you think of that artisan when you use it. She hopes that it will give us a certain extra aspect of a love and admiration for the piece itself. And hopefully it will be an extra reason for you to take care of it and use it in your daily life. And if that's the case, she's really happy about that. Well, thank you so much for talking to us. お邪魔しました。すみません。Yeah, thank you very, very much. ありがとうございます。
いえ、こちらこそ。
Thanks very much. All right. So Yuri is actually from Fukuoka, and she has been working for the workshop for many years now. And perhaps when she was, if she had come here at the very early days, right, after 5 or 6 years, maybe she would have already been asked to move on. But she seems keen, and we seem keen to keep her as well. She's really, really good. So I want to show you this middle room here. This is some of the pieces that are waiting to be colored. And you can see here some flower balls. These ones here are the same that she was hammering just a moment ago. And those ones, you can tell the design is a little bit different, eh? Those will be a completely different color. We're really looking forward to having those. These here are actually repairs. Something that I was really, really impressed with when I first came here was that Gyokusendo is not a workshop that's merely making and selling Copperware, but it's also a workshop that wants you to use your Copperware. And that's one of the driving kind of ideas behind our work. If it's not being used, then there's no point in us making it, you know. So with that in mind, we offer the opportunity to get your pieces repaired if they break or if they, if they otherwise need maintenance. So it's one of the really, really cool things. I don't know about you, but I don't know how many toasters I've gone through, but having something that I value a lot that can be repaired and I can use it for a really long time, that's really something cool, I think. So here you can see really generally the kind of colors and the textures that we can create here at Gyokusendo. I'll show you guys some more in the showroom as well. But that flower ball that she's creating, it's going to be this color here, this really nice gold color. And depending on how it goes through the coloring process, it might be a little bit brighter, it might be a little bit dimmer. Each and every piece is a little bit unique. So, yeah, this part of the building has a lot of history to it as well. The high ceilings here were actually created not to dampen sound or to what would you call it? Let the sound escape, like in the hammering room. But these high walls were actually because here we did a completely different craft, I would say, manufacturing during the wartime period. It was very difficult to get copper, and so we weren't able to sell it. We weren't able to create it. So the head of Gyokusendo at the time ended up putting in these huge machines to shape and form steel. And even after wartime, we were making cutlery and things like that as a separate company. One of the most interesting parts of our history, specifically in that time period, was that even though we weren't able to make or create copperware because of all of the restrictions to the material, the local government actually allowed Gyokusendo to hammer basically in secret so that it could protect and continue to pass down the techniques that by that point were already about 5 generations old. So we really don't know what would have happened if we didn't have that kind of opportunity and that privilege to continue making, even with all of the restrictions on copper. Well, this is the showroom and gallery. This was also used as a living quarters up until about the 5th generation. But now, as you can see, it's a space where visitors can come, relax, and also see some of the pieces that we have. I mentioned the pumpkin before, and I dare say that this is the same piece that was written on the wall. In fact, it fits the same dimensions, and it's also 1.8 liters. And in fact, it's one of the oldest pieces in this showroom. It's probably got to be almost as old as the building itself. It's about 90 years old or so. And we still use it today. It's quite hot. Any of the pieces that we make in the workshop, we try and have available here in the showroom. Of course, we can't make that much at a time, so some pieces are sold out, but we try to make as many available as possible. And of course, any of the pieces here, if visitors were to come, they can come and they can hold and see the pieces up close. Interestingly, this is another type of flower ball that Yuri hasn't had the opportunity to make yet, but this is a little bit of a different design. You can see here that, let's see, this was made last year by another female artisan, Marie, Nomura Marie. And yeah, so we're really excited to get those gold flower balls finished. And this is one other limited edition design that's made in kind of a white silver pattern. If you look up above the top here, it kind of looks like snow. Can you see that? And finally, something that I wanted to share with you guys was one of the, I guess the rare things or the unique things about our Copperware, and that is the way that it evolves and changes over time. Anybody familiar with Gyokusendo might have seen these two kettles before. In fact, these were originally the same color. And this is the new one, and this is the used one. This one was made, let's see. This one was made last year, at the end of the year. And this one has been used for about 40, maybe even 50 years. And it has no special coating, no, different coloring technique applied. It was literally this kind of gold color, and all we did was use it. Our Copperware specifically is, it really shines, literally, when you rub it. So if you were to take a soft cloth every so often and give it a little bit of a pet, if you were rub it down, then the shine starts to come out, and the copper also continues to oxidate. So I didn't mention in the coloring room, but all of our colors are done by oxidization. So we don't apply any paints or dyes. It's all done through chemical reaction, working with the metal itself. So, and after we apply the color, that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to keep the same color forever. In fact, copper is, it oxidizes very beautifully, and that patina will continue to grow and continue to change. And one of the coolest things is that depending on how you use it, how often you use it, how you take care of it, the color will also change as well. So we could have completely, the same sake cup, for example, but because our personalities are different, 10, 15 years down the road, it will be a different cup, essentially. And that's really the cool thing about our Copperware, that once you decide to take a piece home, it's yours for life. And we really want you to use it and get the most out of it, and really, really enjoy having it. So yeah, that's basically it for me. That's just about all the time that we have today. So I really enjoyed taking you guys around. I really enjoyed showing you guys the workshop and being able to do a little bit of an interview as well. We don't usually get to do that during an actual visit. So that was really cool. If you guys are interested in learning more about Gyokusendo or more about Tsubame-Sanjo, this manufacturing region, I really encourage you guys to check out the official Tsubame-Sanjo YouTube channel. There's a Facebook group as well. And although the majority of the information up there is in Japanese, there are quite a lot of videos and some content that you don't need any language at all to enjoy, particularly the YouTube channel. And if we can, we hope that one day we'll be able to really grow the amount of English content on the channel as well. So hit the like button, subscribe, and we really look forward to seeing your comments. And hopefully, one day, we hopefully will see you here in Tsubame-Sanjo as well. Hey. So, yeah, we'll have another live broadcast next month. So stay tuned for that. And until then, we'll see you soon. Thanks so much, and take care.